take questions for Franco.
Physically, health-wise, how are you feeling?
Físicamente, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo te sientes?
Bien, la verdad me siento bien.
Good? Feeling good?
Well, I mean, last year, you had some injury issues. That's what I was curious about now.
Dice después del año pasado que tuviste unas lesiones, pero hoy, ¿cómo estás?
Sí, no, lo del año pasado ya es pasado. Arrancó un año nuevo, así que lo pasado se olvida y se arranca un nuevo año.
Yeah, last year's in the past. We're starting a new year, so we're forgetting last year, and I'm feeling good.
How do you feel you performed in the first game?
¿Y qué tal crees que jugaste en el primer partido?
Bien, creo que se dio bien, ganamos, lo más importante es eso. Así que eso es lo importante, ¿no? Que Atlanta gane.
Good. I think it went well. We won, which is the most important thing. That Atlanta wins, so good.
Is there something that you think you could do better from that game that you're hoping to do, assuming you start on Saturday against Charlotte?
A nivel personal, si quieres mejorar en algo para el próximo partido, si te toca ser titular otra vez.
No, eso se va dando en partido a partido, ¿no? Uno siempre quiere hacer su trabajo de la mejor manera, así que uno se va adaptando a lo que sucede en el partido y a lo que necesita el partido, ¿no?
I think that goes game by game, so one is always trying to improve and do things, but it's based on how the game is going. So we'll take that a game at a time.
What is Pineda asking of you from your position this season? Is there anything different than last season?
¿Y qué te está pidiendo Gonzalo en tu posición este año? ¿Si ha cambiado?
Sí, bueno, ahora estoy jugando de 6, de natural 6, lo que es mi posición. Antes estaba jugando como un 8 más adelantado y ahora creo que estoy jugando más en mi posición, que es la de 6-6.
Well, now I'm playing as a 6 compared to last season where I was playing as more of an 8. So I think for me it's more of a natural role playing as that 6.
Gonzalo talked about maybe asking for better defense in transition moments. How did you feel you did, in particular in transition moments against San Jose at the start of the game?
Gonzalo habló después del partido en hay que mejorar los momentos de transición. ¿Cómo crees que hizo el equipo en el primer partido?
Sí, bueno, yo creo que es muy difícil, es una cancha muy grande, jugamos contra jugadores muy rápidos, muy buenos. Quizá uno cuando ataca piensa en hacer gol y atacar, pero bueno, como te digo, iremos trabajando partido a partido y es acomodarse, es que se vaya la emoción del primer partido, de estar en casa. Pero como te digo, es una cancha muy grande contra jugadores muy rápidos, son transiciones muy largas y nada, eso, partido a partido.
Well, I think we're playing on a very big field and we're playing against very good, very fast players. So it's there are very long transitions. Of course, we'll adjust and we'll work on those things, but yeah, it's a big field, big players, and I think there was a lot of emotion in that first game. And when you get forward and are attacking, you're trying to score goals. So we'll work on it.
Did it feel like you got more comfortable as the game went along?
¿Y crees que cómo iba el partido si estabas más cómodo, o sea, a lo largo del partido?
Sí, bueno, uno siempre cuando... A ver, los 45 primeros minutos son siempre más tensionados, más aguerridos. Ya el segundo tiempo cuando arranca es más liberado y al final se va haciendo más tenso otra vez, pero después de la primera parte siempre se acomodan como las ideas del entretiempo, el entrenador te da sus ideas, lo que ven de afuera y vas más acomodado al segundo tiempo.
I think the first half of games it's always more tense, and then as the game goes on and you speak at halftime and maybe make adjustments, the game kind of flows a little bit differently, and then at the end it gets tense again.
Pineda's described you as kind of the hammer and Rosetto as kind of the cerebral player. I was curious if you like that description or agreed with that description.
Gonzalo te ha descrito como el más físico en el centro del campo y Rosetto como más cerebral, si te gusta esa comparación.
Sí, bueno, todos saben las cualidades que yo tengo, ¿no? Quizá soy el jugador que tiene que hacerse valer en el medio de la cancha. Yo creo que es algo muy importante que el número 6 tenga actitud, tenga presencia en el medio de la cancha. Y es una cualidad mía que tengo siempre de hacerme ver en el medio de la cancha para que los rivales sepan que acá estoy yo, ¿no?
Yeah, I think everyone knows the qualities that I bring as a player. I think me as a number 6, it's important for me to make my presence known in the middle of the field so that players on the opposing team, they know that I'm there.
Have you always put in tackles like that violently?
Y siempre ha sido una persona de entradas muy
Sí, la verdad que sí, desde chiquito me enseñaron a dar todo en todo lo que hago y nada, cuando entro en una cancha lo siento así, siento que es una pasión, siento que es una responsabilidad muy grande que tengo y es como te digo, una manera de hacerme ver adentro de la cancha, de comunicarle a mis compañeros que estoy ahí para ayudarlos, que si ellos pierden la pelota yo estoy ahí atrás de ellos, de que si a Thiago le pegan, si a Luis le pegan una patada, yo estoy ahí para defenderlo, entre comillas, pero sí, trato de hacer lo mejor mi trabajo.
Yeah, I think that's something that I was taught when I was younger, to always give my everything in everything that I do, and that's what I try to do when I step onto the field. I think it's a passion of mine. It's just that attitude of going out and giving everything, and like I said, to make opposing players know that I'm there. So if if somebody's kicking Luis or Thiago, then I'm there to defend them in quotation marks.
Why do you feel you're more suited as a 6 than an 8?
¿Por qué te sientes más cómodo?
Y la verdad que de chiquito jugué ahí, siempre fue mi posición. La verdad que de 8 puedo hacerlo, como lo habré hecho el año pasado, algunas veces mejor, algunas veces peor, pero si el técnico me necesita lo haré ahí, pero nada, es algo mío que tengo de ayudar a los de atrás, de ayudar a los de adelante. Quizá me siento más cómodo estando en el centro del campo, bien parado y cubriendo las espaldas, así que es una cuestión de chico, siempre jugué ahí.
I think I grew up playing in that position, so I can also play as an 8, as I did last year. I'm willing to do whatever Gonzalo and the staff ask of me. But as a 6, I like being in the middle of the field, always being there to help my teammates, to let them know that I'm there to cover for them at all times. So I think I'm just used to it from playing as a kid.
How many chances would it take for you to hit that free kick that Almada hit to win the game?
¿Cuántos necesitas para tirar ese tiro libre que marcaste, Thiago?
¿Cómo?
¿Cuántas
sí,
veces?
bueno, uno siempre tiene que saber sus cualidades y su trabajo, ¿no? Como a mí no me pueden pedir que haga un gol como Thiago, no le puedo pedir a Thiago que se tire a barrer y recupere todas las pelotas que recupere yo, ¿no?
Yeah, I think every player needs to know their qualities. So just as like you wouldn't ask me to score that goal from Thiago, I wouldn't ask Thiago to make a ton of tackles and go recover as many balls as I do. So.
I know you're really good friends with Thiago. With the World Cup and Saturday's performance, how would you describe his personality and the way he handles big moments?
Que Thiago es un buen amigo tuyo. ¿Cómo le describes en esos momentos decisivos en los partidos?
Sí, es increíble, la verdad que, bueno, yo siempre he jugado contra él, somos la misma edad y he jugado contra él desde chiquito en contra y siempre se veía su calidad, pero nada, es increíble, te da un alivio tenerlo ahí al lado. La verdad que bueno, si se ve desde afuera siempre trato de buscarlo a él, siempre trato de combinar pases con él y hacerlo jugar a él. Y como te digo, cuando se la doy trato de estar cerca y de que cuando él pierde la pelota estar ahí para volver a recuperar y dársela otra vez.
I think it's incredible. He's a player who we're the same age, so I've grown up playing against him as on the other team. So he's always shown that kind of quality. And now to have him here as a teammate, it's a big relief. And so whenever I see him on the field, I'm trying to find him, trying to pass the ball to him, and then when he has the ball, just trying to stay close to recover the ball if he ends up losing it.
Are you from Apache too? Is that your neighborhood?
si eres del mismo barrio que Thiago.
No,
Puerta Pacha.
no.
When Santiago returns, would you prefer that he be positioned more as an 8 and you stay as the 6?
Cuando está disponible Santi, si preferías que él juega más como un 8 y tú como un 6.
No, bueno, eso es decisión del técnico, de Gonzalo, ¿no? Como te digo, yo me siento más cómodo de 6. Demostraré en los partidos que me toque jugar que esa es mi posición y nada, cuando vuelva Santi va a ser mejor para el equipo porque esto se trata de Atlanta United, no de quién juega y quién no. Pero como te digo, es decisión del técnico y lo que él decida va a estar bien.
No, that's the coach's decision. As I said, I feel comfortable playing as a 6, so I'll do my best in the games to show what I can do. But ultimately, it's the coach's decision. It's not about who's playing or not. It's about what's best for Atlanta United. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Franco.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Go ahead with questions where we go.
So you've been training with the team less than a week before you entered Saturday's game. Were you just kind of running around, or did you have some idea of what Pineda wanted from you?
No, I mean, I knew what he wanted and more what the game called for. Obviously, it's very tough, I mean, to be essentially 6 weeks behind. But, I think what the game called for was occupation of center backs and just being in the box. Obviously, you need a goal. So I think, obviously, I don't think that's the end product we're looking for of what the final product of what we want is going to look like. But, I think it'll evolve and it'll take time. And like I was saying, the season is very long. So, there's going to be an integration period, and I think we're all aware of that.
What can you bring for Atlanta United supporters who may not be as familiar with you as?
Traditionally, I bring good link-up play. I like to combine. That's something I do, and I love to get in the box, make good runs, and be creative with my movement and both, with combination. And my job is, I always say, to make, Thiago better, to make Luis better. They're incredible players, and the way this team's going to win is by them performing their best, and I can support them in doing that, and then make the team, succeed. And I'm sure, Thiago himself is going to help, other players score goals, and that's what he does. So, but yeah.
Obviously, 2021, a bit of a better year for you statistically. How do you kind of get back to that point where you're finding chances more consistently?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to look at the numbers and think that, and I mean, that's totally fair, and I do the same thing. I reflect on every season, every game, and I think there's stylistically the football that was played then is a lot different than what I played last year, and I think if you talk about how I score goals, a lot of crosses, a lot of combination plays in the box. I think I got away from that in systems that I was playing in, and I think I'm excited to hopefully get back to that. And obviously just goal scoring is a rhythm. It's up and down, but obviously you want more highs than lows. So.
You've been with a couple MLS clubs. Now that you're here in person, what makes Atlanta United different? What stands out?
I mean, I think I've seen a bit of everything in the MLS now at this point, and this is my first 20 minutes here. You see the difference, and before you even walk in the stadium, I'm not even talking about that atmosphere, which is incredible. I've never experienced anything like that. You see, really, it's not the 12th man. It's like 15, 16. How many people are there? So, but I think this club does everything right. Whether it's my relocation, which is something that I'm sure fans don't even think about, but that's a very difficult process, and they've been incredibly helpful with that, and just trying to get me settled as quick as possible because help me do my job better here. And I think this club has gone above and beyond with that, and I mean the facilities are incredible. The fans are. I've never seen anything like that. The pregame march, I had no idea what I was doing when I got fitted for a tux, but I just kind of followed Miles, followed Derek, and saw what they did, and that was incredible. It's an experience I really cherished, and I'm looking forward to again this weekend. So this club has exceeded my expectations, which were already incredibly high. So.
Were you surprised to be traded? I mean, especially that deep into the
No,
preseason?
I heard that there was interest, and when you hear who it is, you get excited. And I had a good relationship with Wayne there, and I think I think he knew that not that I wasn't happy, but that I think this was probably a better fit, and I respect them a lot, and I learned a lot from them, and obviously the timing for me isn't ideal, but the outcome is more than ideal. So I'm incredibly happy to be here, and like I said, this club, I had very high expectations, and so I was very excited when you hear Atlanta's knocking on the door, and So not that you do everything you can to be here, but you want to be at a club like this. So
The assumption is once Yorgos gets here and gets acclimated, that he'll be the starting striker. How do you approach that kind of situation?
I mean, as a domestic player in the league, that's what you come to expect with designated players in that. But your job is to be ready for when your name is called and to compete with them. And I don't want to hand him the job.
Right.
My job is to be as good as possible for the team. And I think I've been in that situation before in Columbus. And I think it's for me and Giassi. I think we both made each other better. And I hope it's the same dynamic here. And I'm sure it is. Georgia's so far when I met him, was a great guy. So. My job is to compete and to make the team better and to make Gonzalo's decision a lot harder.
What's been first impression, favorite part about the club in the city so far? Short time you've been here.
Oh, it's such a hard question because I mean, there's so many things I could tell you, from the food upstairs to the facility to the people to the support staff to the fans. But I think hearing how loud it was when Thiago scored that free kick was, for me, that moment, that's something I'll remember for the rest of my life. And that's incredible. I was less than a week into me being here. That was, if you had told me a week before that would be something I'd be experiencing, I would have hoped for it, but I would have been surprised. And that was probably something I'll remember for a long time.
You were in the wall, right?
Yeah.
Did you get to see it go in, or were you?
I luckily turned, but it was one of those ones where you see it. So I played with Lucas Zelarayan, and he's probably the best free kick taker in the league. So he always liked the little wall too. So when you're in that, you kind of see him hit it, and you go, yeah, that's it. And you kind of get a nice little view. But I'm sure that was one of the most expensive seats in the house, and I got it. So that was nice.
Brad mentioned all the little things that y'all did right on that free kick. Can you tell us what those were exactly?
Well, I know in the guys who started worked on a little free kick play that we actually didn't end up using, but involved the wall. And I think that after Thiago won it, I think I went up to and asked him if he wanted a little wall, and he said he did. And I think other guys kind of came in and were like, yeah, we can get in front of the keeper here. And I think just blocking his vision. I mean, I'll take the credit for I'll get the. Yeah. But obviously, he still whipped it in the top bin. So I mean, that's really him. I don't, I'd like to think maybe we contributed a little bit, but let's be honest, it was mostly him. It's just that kind of thing. And I think we felt the moment. And after we scored the first goal, I think they said, all right, let's not concede another. And I think we stepped forward and said, let's score another. And with 3-4 minutes left, I don't think a lot of teams do that. And I think the fans are really what propelled us to do that. So that was incredible.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.